Hi, everyone. Today I have my beautiful friend and client, Sonali Hudson, here from Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads. Virginia, is it Virginia Beach, part of Virginia Beach?
Yes, Virginia Beach it's Hampton Roads, but Virginia Beach is a part of Hampton Roads.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. And Sonali had a great success story with expireds recently. So I invited her to just chat with me here and tell you what happened. Sonali, I'm going to let you sort of talk about how, the conversation you and I had. We were on a group call. You asked a question. I don't remember exactly how you asked the question. I don't know if you remember, but at least give us the gist of it, and then we'll talk about what happened.
That sounds good. Well, Jackie, today is exactly 2 weeks since I've been a part of the Sales X training, so I'm super excited about that. We were on one of the calls, and I was listening to everything that you were talking about, and the training is just so phenomenal that I had been listening to training, and the one thing that you mention all the time is taking massive action. That's the thing that's going to change your business. And I'm listening to the training and I'm absorbing all of the training. And the one thing that I wasn't doing was taking the massive action. And I am not a shy person at all. I have, been in sales pretty much all of my life, over 25 years. I've never been afraid to do anything, but for some reason, I was afraid to pick up the phone. I'd never called FISBOs before. I'd never called expireds. Most of my business came either from Zillow leads, online leads, referrals. I never had, done the cold calling. And so I was afraid. And so I, wanted to know, hey, Jackie, when should I actually start taking the calls? I didn't feel like I knew enough information or that I had the scripts down pat enough for me to start making the calls. And you said, do it today. And I'm like, wait, I just started. It's only been a couple of days since I've been training. What do you mean do it today? And you're like, today, make the calls. And thankfully, I took, because I respect you so much, because your story has just been so inspiring and so encouraging. And of all the people that I have Googled or looked at on YouTube, you have just been someone that I could connect with and that I could relate to, that I felt like you were just giving so much information to help me grow my business. I said, okay, I'm going to do what she said. And thankfully I did it and it's been paying off. And I know it's going to continue to pay off. So I'm excited about that.
Sonali, correct me if I'm wrong. I asked you to talk to 5 people a day, yes?
Yes.
Because I remember you talking about massive action. I said, hold on. And I remember saying, this is not for everybody else that was on the call, but for you, because you're just starting.
Mhm.
Let's eat this elephant one bite at a time, right?
Yes.
So, so you did what I asked you to do. Who did you call and what happened?
So I started with expireds because you always talk about the formula of who you should call first, who are going to be the hottest leads. And when I tell you, I picked up the phone and it weighed like 10,000 pounds. Like literally, I'm like, okay, I'm literally shaking because I felt like I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I'm not afraid of being hung up on. I'm not afraid of somebody being rude. I was afraid of not knowing what to say. And I keep hearing you say confident. And so I have a board here in front of me and I wrote just some key things that I learned from the training on here so that while I was on the phone, I could have those triggers. I picked up the phone and in my mind, I said, all I have to do is make 5 calls. It took me about 25 to 30 calls. I had about 4 conversations before I was able to set my first appointment
So that appointment was with an expired, huh?
with an expired. Yes.
Okay. And when did you set it for? Tell us what happened. You set
Okay. So I'm excited. But so I talked to the client that particular day. We set the appointment for the next day, and I took the listing at that appointment. So not only was that appointment with a listing, that listing had been on the market for over 90 days. They had an agent that was just unfortunately just not a non-caring agent who had taken some photos with their cell phone, who was not the agent that they needed. And so basically they literally told me, you are a breath of fresh air. So I was able to go in and explain to them confidently what I was going to do differently, and got the listing the same day. But not only did I get the listing the same day, these clients are also looking to buy. So I was able to do exactly what you said, where, you're not necessarily focusing on buyers, but the buyers are going to come by default when you're listing their property. So in 2 weeks, and I did not start making calls until about day 5 or 6, to be honest. Today's literally exactly 2 weeks from me starting the Sales X program. I've had 4 appointments. I've booked 4 appointments. Two of them canceled. Two of them I went on and took two listings. So
Ooh, so after that one, you took another one. I don't think I knew about that one. I knew you had,
yes,
and
that was this weekend.
so I know the first one you listed wasn't expired. The second one was,
Also an expired for that was on the market for 273 days.
look, I know there are people watching and listening to you say, I literally started 2 weeks ago. And you started making calls on day 5, and you listed two expireds. Is it really that easy? Do
It's not. So it's what's easy, Jackie, is it's easy to basically do. I'm a person that I follow a system. I know that a system means save yourself time, energy, and money. You say a lot in your training, don't reinvent the wheel. I'm a big believer in that. And I've bought into you, right? So I think when you find somebody that you can buy into, that you've been able to see that they have a track record of success, and you do what they tell you to do step by step, and that's honestly what I've done. And in my mind, I hear you say, Sonali, make 5 calls. But also in my mind, I hear you say, take massive action. And when you want your business to change, you have to take massive action. So some days, massive action looks like I am literally in my office and I am making a phone call, because you said that your responsibility every single day is to set a listing appointment. But I took that a step further and I said, every single week, I'm going to take a new listing. So my goal is to take a new listing every single week. And if I do that, I can have a predictable business. So that is what my goal is.
that's amazing. I love it so much. So now, like, how did you've been in real estate for how long now?
August 31st of 2016.
So 2016, about 6 years.
6 years. Mhm.
So before you said your business was coming from Zillow leads and online leads.
Mhm.
And why did you change that? What was going on with that? And why did you decide to change and just come join me?
So Zillow, as of like 21, the end of 21, Zillow started changing for me. I was co-marketing with a lender, and every month our Zillow spend just continued to increase, but the lead qualities continued to decrease. Zillow changed the program, and they started going to a team basis where you had to get invited to be a part of this particular platform. My lender and I, we were not invited to that platform, even though I had a very high conversion rate, over 13% conversion with Zillow. So the leads to quality started going, and instead of me being able to convert, let's say, one a month or two a month, I was, getting leads that weren't ready for 6 to 8 to 9 months, and I'm spending an exorbitant amount of money on those leads. So
Mhm.
coming into 22, I said, you know what, I really want to focus on a different measure. Number one, I have a YouTube channel, so I wanted to focus on that. And I wanted to really hone in on my sphere. I didn't realize that cutting off those Zillow leads the way that I did, and not gradually cutting them off, was going to cause me to be in a position where I was going to have a drought in my business. So I found myself having a drought where I'm like, okay, where is, my next lead's going to come from? And so I started hearing about, cold prospecting and circle prospecting. So I started Googling circle prospecting, trying to find out who's good, who's out there, who's doing it, because I was willing to do what it takes to really breathe some energy back into my business. And I came across you after about 7 or 8 people that I was looking into. And thankfully I heard your voice, and it was something that clicked to me. And I literally spent an entire evening just listening to the trainings that you had on YouTube. And then I said, hey, Sales X is it.
Okay, cool. So this is your first experience with cold calling, I guess. Cold calling, prospecting, lead generation,
For real estate, yes.
in different ways.
Mhm.
Um, when you think about, I'm curious about this. I was thinking as you were speaking. with Zillow leads, do you know what the ratio was of buyer leads that you were getting versus seller leads?
Oh, 98%. I mean, I would get a seller lead probably, I mean, honestly, one out of maybe every 100 leads. I'd say even 99%. Mostly are buyers. I
So
mean, and even my online leads, Facebook leads, all of them are buyer leads.
okay, okay. Well, and this is the advantage also of
Yeah,
what you're doing now. You're focusing on listings. Your entire business is going to change. Your life is going to change as you start working more efficiently. Yeah.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, the first listing you took, they need to buy. So you're going to have buyers as the result of your listings. And you said you were spending, I don't know how much, but a lot of money buying these leads. Now you're actually developing skills that are yours forever, right?
Right,
Doesn't matter.
right.
Like nobody, there's no one out there controlling the leads you get that you're paying money to. Now you're in charge. Isn't that
Right.
exciting? I mean, to
It
me,
is.
it's
It
exciting.
really is, Jackie. My confidence was, and I'm generally a very confident person. I'm generally the one that people come to when they need to know, hey, what do I do next? But coming to you and, even coming to the program, my confidence was literally feeling like it was at a zero because I felt like I was batting and missing, batting and missing. I wasn't sure what I was going to do next. And I felt very discouraged. I did not have the tools that I needed to figure out what was going to be next. I knew that I wanted to take listings. I knew that, I mean, honestly, I had some clients that came down from a different state. I spent 9 hours in one day with these clients showing houses. I mean, an entire day. And they decided they were going to stay in the state that they were in. That's what happens when you're working with buyers and you love doing it because you want to help, but is it effective? Is it, going to help you grow your business? We're in business to earn income, right? And so I didn't have the confidence before I started with SalesX, and now I know exactly my strategy. I know exactly what I'm going to do when I come in my office every single day. I know what to say, and I'm still learning every single day. I'm able to overcome objections. I'm able to have conversations with you that is going to help me change my business. And I'm excited about that.
Personally, I feel like the success you've had so fast, a lot of people don't have. They don't. Obviously, you're a very outgoing person. You have a great personality. You had some. You've been in real estate for a while, but you had prior sales experience because I heard you said that. Say that. What would you say for someone who may actually be calling expireds or called them in the past and they didn't set an appointment and go out and take listings like you and they get discouraged? What advice would you give to these people?
Jackie, I think, honestly, you've got to want it.
Mm.
And I want to change my business. I want to make an impact. And I want to be successful more than anything else in this world. And when you want something bad enough, you're going to do what it takes to get it. I was terrified. When I tell you I was shaking when I started dialing that number, I was shaking. But I knew that even in those few moments of connecting with you and connecting with your business partner, I knew that somebody else had enough belief in me. And I was borrowing that belief for the moment until I made those calls. And once I had got just past that first call and the second call and the third call, I was able to say, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The words began to come because, again, I was up and I was studying. So, what I would say to somebody who is discouraged, who has been making calls and they haven't had the results, dig deeper. Figure out exactly why you're doing this. Why is this important to you? What results do you want? And what are you willing to do to get it? For me, I'm willing to study. I'm willing to, as a leader, I'm normally a leader in my life, but right now, as a leader, I'm willing to follow Jackie and I'm willing to follow the system because I want to win more than I want anything else. So figure out what that X factor is for you and go after it. That's what I'd say.
Your answer is absolutely perfect. I couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
That is the number one thing in order to be able to get through the fear. Like you said, you were nervous, you were shaking, you in order to get through that and then get through. Every call is not going to be amazing. Some people are going to hang up on you. Some people will scream and shout. In order to get through that, you gotta want something real bad.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter. It's whatever it takes. Perfect answer somehow. I
Thank you.
agree 100%. Beautiful girl. I can't wait because I mean what you've done in just 2 weeks, it really is amazing. Unfortunately, some people, and maybe because of lack of clarity and what it is they want, they they take a little longer to have success. But I do, you said, you're borrowing the belief. I know that every single real estate agent that have the desire, they want that one thing so badly, they can do this. They can
Mhm.
absolutely do this. And there's nothing special about me, and there's nothing special about you that everybody else doesn't have. We're all made of the same thing. We all have it within us. We just got to dig it out and find it. So thank you so much, girl. I can't wait to hear more of what's coming
I
because
agree.
I continue to do amazing. And thank you
Thanks.
for sharing the great success. I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you for putting together such an amazing program that is literally a game changer. When I say it's a game changer, I don't mean to just, I'm not blowing smoke. When I tell you I have invested so much money in programs for real estate and I have watched so many hours of YouTube videos, when I tell you the course, you have laid it all on the line. You have been very detailed, very organized, very structured. If anybody really wants to win, you have a platform that gives us the ability to do it. Like, the only thing that you haven't done is done it for us. And I'm so grateful for that,
Thank
because there's nothing left to the imagination. I know exactly what I need to do. And when I began to put that into my daily routine, which is here on this board over here, it started changing for me. And I feel so much more confident, and I owe you so much. So thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story with you, because it's been a blessing to me.
Thank you. Thank you. And I told you when we scheduled this, so now you don't have to say anything about sales X training. This is about you sharing the story. So thank you for the great
Thank you.
testimony. And thank you for saying the only thing I can do is do it for you.
Yes.
I wish somehow I could just like magically make things happen, but you
Right.
gotta do the work yourself, and anybody willing to do the work will get the results. So thank you again, girl. See you soon.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.